Welcome to This Explainer. We're going to do something super fun today, but also deeply fascinating. We're taking a beloved cultural icon, the famous robotic cat from the future, you know the one, and using him as a literal blueprint to map out the very real future of AI and robotics. We're not just treating him like a cartoon character here. No, we're looking at him as a highly advanced engineering spec sheet straight out of the 22nd century, asking, how close are we to actually building him?
2112. That specific year, September 3rd, 2112 to be exact, is actually this robot's manufacturing date according to the lore. He was built to guide a young boy's life in a better direction. But that date begs a massive question for us right now in the 21st century. When will we actually have the tech to pull this off? Are we miles away or secretly right on schedule?
To figure that out, our roadmap for this explainer covers the blueprint of a legend, the 2026 reality check, the roadmap to 2112, and finally, the laws of physics.
All right, starting off with part one, the blueprint of a legend.
To engineer this 22nd century marvel, we've got to first break down his unique and honestly kind of traumatic base specs. You probably know his iconic blue earless design, right? Well, the engineering backstory is actually pretty wild. He was originally manufactured as a yellow robot with ears. But after mice chewed his ears off, the shock made him cry so hard that his yellow paint literally washed away, turning him blue. But getting past the lore for a second, it's amazing how his cartoonish features actually serve hardcore practical engineering functions. That little red nose, high-performance scent sensor, the big expressive eyes, advanced cameras, and image recognizers. And my absolute favorite feature? His tail is a literal kill switch. You pull it, and it triggers an emergency stop to temporarily halt his operations. Talk about brilliant robotic design hidden in plain sight.
Which brings us to the absolutely terrifying contrast of his build. On one hand, the mandate is clear: be an adorable, child-friendly companion capable of offering educational and emotional support. But then you look at the raw hardware. This little guy packs 129.3 horsepower. He can effortlessly lift giant boulders, smash through doors, and throw opponents. And he houses a 4D stomach that processes his favorite snack, dorayaki, into energy, using what is essentially a miniaturized, futuristic nuclear reactor. Because, you know, nothing screams safe for kids like highly unstable atomic energy, right? He is a total walking contradiction of cuddly warmth and industrial-grade destruction.
But hey, physical strength means nothing without the software to run it, right? His artificial intelligence is remarkably advanced, way beyond any simple chatbot we have today. He has deep human emotions. He gets jealous, feels shame, cries, worries. He's also equipped with highly sophisticated ethical judgment to guide a child's moral compass. But because he's designed to be so remarkably human, about a quarter of his processing power seems to get constantly hijacked by very human flaws. We're talking a panicked tendency to pull out the completely wrong gadget when he's scared, a massive overpowering craving for dorayaki pastries, and a crippling phobia-level fear of mice. Honestly, it's that imperfection that makes his AI so perfectly human.
Moving right along to part two, the 2026 reality check.
So, how does our current year, 2026, actually stack up against this masterpiece? There is a pretty incredible gap between what we've mastered and what is basically still magic. Take conversational AI. We're making massive strides there, closing in fast on human-level chat. Autonomous movement? We've got robots actively walking around in practical use in factories right now. But then we hit 4D storage, pulling thousands of items out of a pocket with infinite space? Yeah, completely impossible right now. And while our current AI can make basic partial judgments today, the kind of high-level, independent ethical standards needed to literally raise a child from the future, we are definitely still striving for that.
Which leads us nicely into part three, the roadmap to 2112.
Don't let those current limitations bring you down, though. If we map out our technological trajectory, the timeline is absolutely wild, showing how fast things are going to escalate in our own lifetimes. By the 2030s, we anticipate basic domestic robots and flawless real-time voice translation, basically giving us his translation gummy capability just without the candy. By the 2040s, we hit the era of life support robots managing household chores and elder care. Fast forward to the 2050s, and experts predict we'll have nailed 40 to 50% of this robot's capabilities with practically human-level AI. And by the year 2100, just shy of his 2112 manufacturing date, we could be looking at 70 to 80% capability. A fully autonomous, emotionally intelligent AI that feels like a genuine member of the family.
And this is not just theory, folks. Real-world developers are laying the foundation for this exact leap right now.
Companies like Tesla with their Optimus program, Figure AI, and Agility Robotics are actively building the hardware and software as we speak. If their current development cycles hold steady, seeing widespread household integration by the 2040s is a very realistic target. We are actively engineering the autonomous systems that will soon handle elder care, child care, and everyday chores, the exact same things our futuristic blue friend was designed to do.
Okay, time for a reality check in Part 4, The Laws of Physics. Now, as much as I absolutely love this rapid tech progress, we've got to hit the brakes for a second. We need to look at where science fiction violently collides with the unbreakable laws of physics, and that brings us to the ultimate question for any fan of this lore. It's the one feature everyone wishes they had, the four-dimensional pocket. Is it practically possible to engineer a space attached to your stomach that holds nearly infinite storage?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but physics gives us a big fat 0% chance. For the 4D pocket, our current understanding of general relativity and quantum gravity offers absolutely zero methods to manipulate four-dimensional space like that. What about the time machine? Well, theoretical wormholes do exist on paper, sure, but keeping them open would require massive amounts of impossible negative energy, not to mention the universe-breaking time paradoxes you'd cause. And the famous anywhere door? We actually have quantum teleportation today, but that only transfers information states between particles. It absolutely does not transfer physical human matter. So if you step through a door expecting to instantly appear in Hawaii, modern physics says you are not going anywhere.
But hey, it's not all bad news, because we can ingeniously build workarounds for tons of his 2000 legendary gadgets. The translation gummy, that'll likely be fully realized around 2035 using AI and AR earbuds. The air cannon, we can probably build a version of that between 2035 and 2050 with compressed air and electromagnetics. Even the takeocopter, the little propeller you put on your head to fly, could take shape by 2100 as some kind of ultralight electric flight device. But things like the small light or big light, which shrink or enlarge objects, yeah, zero prospect there. They fundamentally violate the physical laws of atomic structure.
I really love a particular quote from our source material because it beautifully sums up this entire explainer. It says, Doraemon is a hybrid of achievable AI/robotics and impossible space-time tech. While the latter remains sci-fi, we are actively building the former this century. We might not be able to bend space and time to our will, we won't have 4D pockets or doors that instantly beam us across the globe, but the core of what makes him so special, a true, empathetic, thinking, caring robotic companion that guides and supports a family, we are well on our way to creating exactly that.
So, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If we are truly on track, actively building the mind and the body of a 22nd century robot today in the early 21st century, once we finally pull it off, what impossible dreams will humanity have to dream up next? Once the robots of our science fiction literally become the appliances in our living rooms, what new fictions will we invent to inspire the engineers of the 23rd century? It's an amazing time to be alive and an even better time to be curious. Thanks for exploring this roadmap with me.